Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. Welcome to the BB Breakdown with Joleen. That's me. Hey, guys. Happy Friday night. Welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. Thank you for your patience. My last live ran a little long with Nana. Thank you to all those who joined me on that one for Married to Bravo. But tonight, now it's Friday Night Live, late night Friday Lives with Couch Potato Queens, Josh and Alex. We have Alex here. I'll be bringing her up shortly. Thank you, Tracy, for the first super chat of the night. Come on, Joleen. We've been waiting for you. Where have you been, huh, JK? Tracy was on my last live. Thank you, Tracy. And I love how you switch your picture with every live. Before it was Kathy Hilton when we were talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And now it's Sarah Beth Franzel. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So thank you guys for joining. We're going to be talking Big Brother spoilers. So if you don't like spoilers, you'll want to log off. Make sure you smash that like. Let's set a goal for 200 likes during this live. Mods, keep me updated on how close we are to our goal. Feel free to share this out on social media, you guys. If you want to support the channel, feel free to send a super chat just like Tracy did, and we will highlight your comment and it supports the channel. Otherwise, you can just give that like or follow me on social media at Joleen Lunzer on the TikTok, the Twitter, and the Instagram. And then there's links in the description for PayPal, Patreon, Venmo, Cash App. And I have a very good, I was going to say a big surprise, but it's not like a big surprise for you guys, really. It's not like a good surprise that I'm giving you something. I actually just... A lot of you have been asking me for about a year to get a P.O. box. I got a P.O. box today. So I will put that in the description as well after the video post so you guys can send me stuff. Please don't send me anything creepy. But I know a lot of you have hit me up wanting to send me things or products or try stuff or presents or something for Nana. And I appreciate it so much. So I got a P.O. box. I feel so fancy. I didn't know how to do it. And I went there and apparently I had to pay money for it. So I'm going to try it for 6 months. So you guys got to send me something because I just paid $200 and some for a P.O. box. But we'll try it out and we'll see because I can't be giving people my address because allegedly Mike Boogie is already trying to dox me and maybe harass me. And I'm already working with the LAPD. So I can't, the LAPD already knows me now, the detectives, so I can't. Sorry, guys. So I have to give a P.O. box now because apparently I've come to BB recapper status of ex-house guests who've fallen on very hard, rocky times might allegedly come for you. And so that's what's happening. So hello. Yes. Okay, smash the like. Yes, let's get to 200. So we have so many things going on today. So I'm going to bring up my guest host for the night. You know her from Couch Potato Queens. Please put your internet YouTube hands together for Alex.
Hello.
Oh, how are you, my beautiful pink-haired queen? What is happening?
Oh my goodness, I am so happy to be here. I love coming on your show because all of your viewers are so nice.
Well, we love Couch Potato Queens here, and we do have a goal of getting you guys to 1,000 subs. Yes. How close are we?
I think we are about 250 away.
That's so close.
I know.
You guys look in the description of this video. There should be a link. Mods, feel free to drop the Couch Potato Queens link in the chat so you can just click on it real quick, open up a separate tab, subscribe, and then just stay with us. But sub, because Couch Potato Queens covers Big Brother and so much more. And we want to support our friends, Alex and Josh over there. And it's kind of nice because we're just having a ladies' night. Like, we'll miss Josh, obviously.
But also, like, girls' night. Like, we should have gotten like face masks and like some wine.
For real. And with what's going on in the Big Brother house, it's a lot of lady power. And with green that the women were wearing the other night, and with Tiffany as the new HOH, it's fantastic. Thank you, Jefferson Tucker. Jefferson says, Tiffany to Kai minutes ago. Kai, I've got to go. My attention span is all over the place. That kid can talk. Lord help us all. Kyland, I don't think he realizes how he's coming off in a lot of ways to these house guests and how they're just like, he doesn't shut up. And then him and Sarah Beth Franzel. I mean, what do you think of this, Alex?
I mean, Kyland has really gone up and down with the viewers because I remember in the early weeks, everyone loved Kyland, then everyone didn't like Kyland, and then everyone liked him again, and now everyone doesn't like him after Sarah Beth's HOH. And it's really just, he's aligning with the wrong people.
Yeah, and he's just like, there's some mansplaining going on. There's some ego stuff, I think, happening, maybe a hint of HOH-itis. And it's, no, and it's just like, did you see the other night on the feeds when he was talking to Sarah Beth Franzel when she was HOH still? And that's her new name. It has to be SBF, you know? SBF, oh my God, SBF. She's from Oobly Goobly. And they were talking, and she said that she wanted to be bitten by a snake. She's like, I'd want to be bitten by a snake. I just think it would be like cool. And he's like, my sister was bitten by a snake in her neck. And she's like, well, not like my neck. Like, I wouldn't want to be bitten in my neck. But I just always like wondered what it would be like. And then he was like, is there anything I need to know about you? And he was kind of alluding to, is anything like not real, like about your personality, or like maybe, I don't know, Shelly like is like not a thing. Oh no, she's real. Okay, cool. It was so weird.
If Sarah Beth wants to be bitten by a snake, she can just bite herself.
Ooh!
Oh, we're coming in with the hot burns tonight.
Yes, burn, Alex, burn. Or Kyland, who is snaking her right now, technically.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're perfect for each other. They can, both have little snake babies together.
Oh, all right. So let's talk about things that are going on in the house, you guys. Yes, unfortunately. Okay, so we all saw last night's episode, and Tiffany won HOH, and it was amazing, and I cried a little bit, and so I had to fix my wings of my eyeliner, and then we saw on the feeds, we saw her epic HOH room reveal, where for the first time I found Derek F. likable. Daybed Derek, for the first moment ever in this whole season, when he saw that she got Beyonce's lemonade, he was like, ah! And then she started jumping, he started jumping, Hannah started jumping, Xavier. And I was like, this is, because how many seasons have we been like, I got Toby Keith's greatest hits. And you're like, Jesus, can we just end this show now? Can we fucking burn this show to the ground?
The music choices that come into that HOH room, I'm always like, really?
I know.
Are you serious?
And I almost was going to kill Alyssa today because Tiffany was talking about, because Tiffany is just, I don't know if she's one of your favorite players, but she is my favorite player.
I mean, she's my Michigan gal.
Of course. Oh, yes. You have Claire and Tiffany, two Michigan gals this year.
Michigan gal.
Yes. Oh, I wish there was a Minnesota, but Michigan, I feel like I'm going to claim it just because it's a fellow Midwestern.
It's Midwest. I mean, we all say pap instead of soda. So
yeah, we say pap.
Just having a pap.
Just having a quick pap, guys. It's hot out. It's humid. Oh my God, these skeeters. So, so she was talking about her music choices, and she put Tupac in there. Everyone's like, yeah, freaking Tupac. I'm like, when's the last time we had a house guest pick Tupac? Like, I was so excited as a woman who the same age as Tiffany, growing up in the same time. I was yes all day. She picked All Eyes on Me, which I'm like, that's the right album. That's the right album, Tiff. And then she said she threw Chris Brown in there, and Alyssa was trying to talk her into Chris Brown. I'm like, you never talk anyone into Chris Brown over Tupac. Are you insane, woman?
No.
So yet another reason why Alyssa annoys me. Okay, so she had her meetings, her one-on-ones. What did you think of Tiffany's meetings that she had last night in the Coral Room before the HOH reveal?
One thing that I loved about Tiffany's very short-lived HOH was when she was talking to Sarah Beth, and Sarah Beth was saying, you can't trust Alyssa, and she's really who your target needs to be. And
your Sarah Beth is really good. Your SBF, Sarah Beth Franzel, on point. Because what I noticed in my second impression video I did yesterday of her, you have to add a little lisp to it. So it's like, hi, I've been thinking in your HOH that, it's just it's subtle. That was a little heavy, but it's very subtle. So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. And it's like she's always saying something nice, but it's actually really mean.
Yeah, she's like, I just think if we could like stab her in the throat, the game would be better.
Merrily.
Yes. So when she's talking to Sarah Beth, sorry, I put you off track. Sarah Beth Francis.
Oh, I'm always down to talk about Sarah Beth. So. But Tiffany gets out of that conversation, and she finally gets out of there, and Tiffany looks dead ass at the camera and is like, I just lied to that girl's face. I'm like, wow, thank you. I'm like, this season I don't feel like we've gotten a lot of house guests who are like talking directly to us. But Tiffany is one of the house guests who's doing it. And the fact that she was doing it in her HOH, it really made me feel like I was a part of it.
Right. So, Tiffany understands the assignment. Unlike Cliff Hogg was like, hey, it's me, Cliff Hogg. I was wondering if my son needs a job. He's on the LinkedIn. You guys on LinkedIn? If you could check him out. Remember, Phil, or I want to call him Phil. Cliff would go in the freaking pillow room, whatever the hell it's called, holding that poor owl hostage. And he would just sit in there and go, my son, hi, Sharon. Hi. I got the owl, and my son looking for on LinkedIn. I think he's just like
that's not the assignment.
That's not the assignment. And then he would yell his game. I trust Jackson. I think Sharon would like him. It's a good guy. It's a good Southern guy.
Yes, but please yell your game strategy.
And then Christy's like, oh, I got a UTI. I have to go pee again. She didn't have a UTI, but I was just assuming everyone in that house had a UTI that season. And she's like, oh my God, is that Cliff telling his whole strategy? Crazy.
To no one?
To no one?
Oh, to America?
But Tiffany gets it. Like, Tiffany totally understands
that was probably my favorite moment of her in the HOH was just her talking to Sarah Beth and having to lie through her teeth, saying that Sarah Beth was not the target.
Oh, thank you, Jefferson Tucker, for the super chat for the super SPF impression. Oh, thank you. I don't know. I don't know why I can hear myself. Do you have like a browser open with me in it? Or do I have a browser with me in it? I might have a browser with me in it. I'm looking for myself. Let us know if you guys can hear any feedback. It could just be that I'm very loud, which I am very loud. Okay. So thank you, Jefferson. Thank you. Yes. Echo. Okay. So hopefully the echoes are gone. Thank you guys. You're echoing. Joleen, you have an echo. Okay. You guys let us know. So yes, they heard Cliff Hogg, but with Tiffany, when she talks to the feeders, she understands the assignment and she does it very succinctly, and she makes sure other people aren't around, and she tells us like we're a part of it, because she, being a super fan, not just a fan who wants to get on RHAP after this, which I think Cliff Hogg, seriously, he was like, do you think Rob's watching? Sharon, tell Rob I'm on TVs. Tell that little guy Taryn to look me up on LinkedIn. Like, it was just, Cliff was so bad at this game. And now we have Tiffany. Bless his heart. Bless his damn heart and the LinkedIn. Okay. So, thank you guys. Jamie B says echo is gone. Yeah. All right. So talking to Sarah Beth too, it looked like with her and Tiffany's conversation, she was throwing everyone under the bus.
Oh yeah.
Like Sarah Beth Frenzel was like, and then she said this, and I'm not one to gossip, and then she said that, and he said that, and Xavier, and da. And Tiff's like, okay. And then I just, okay. And there was Alyssa. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Alyssa.
Oh, and you have a 3 with who? Okay, a final 3.
Very interesting. Yeah. Oh, okay. Also, what was strange to me is that Sarah Beth was full on saying that, oh, Kylan's the target, and I want to work when Kylan's gone. I want to work with Claire and Tiffany. I'm like, girl, in what universe is Claire and Tiffany going to be like, yeah, you know what? We're going to keep Sarah Beth and we're going to align with her, and no one will see it coming. Like,
I always find it funny when, they were in the jackpot. Technically, I think Sarah Beth Franzel thinks they still are. But in what universe do you put your allies like that up as pawns? I do understand that it's happening with the cookout, but I think we have a very different situation, of a very solid, this is, and for different reasons. But once you put Claire on the block, it's done. It's a wrap. And also, all you do is cuddle and talk with Kylan, and all Kylan does is cuddle and talk with you. So if Kylan wasn't in the cookout, his game would be shit.
Exactly.
you know.
Do you think that Kyland is more loyal to the cookout or to Sarah Beth?
I do think I think he's going to struggle with getting rid of Sarah Beth, but I do think he's more loyal to the cookout. I think he realizes the optics and how that would look and how that would be horrific for his game at this point. Even though, you know, some would argue, well, he's on the bottom of the cookout anyways, but that's only because he's allowed Sarah Beth to get, and not that it's her fault, but his fault for literally falling in love on Big Brother, which we've seen that be a problem for a lot of people when they treat it like The Bachelor. But he's not in love because she's in a relationship. That's why he picked her. So it's like not a big deal. That's what he was telling people. He's like, oh, well, yeah, that's why I picked Sarah Beth, because she's in a relationship. So it's like, I don't have to worry about catching feelings.
I mean, did you see the picture, though, of Kyland's ex-girlfriend?
They're twins. I think it's Sarah Beth.
Same person.
Yeah. Sarah Beth Franzel has a twin, like the Julia and the other one.
Yeah.
Now so Sarah Beth and Kyland's ex are twins, allegedly.
Same person. It's like the Office meme where it's like they're the same picture. They're the same person.
They are the same person.
It's the same picture.
Okay. So they have their meetings, and you know, Tiffany talks with everyone in the coral room, and she has a good talk with Hannah. Hannah is visibly upset. She feels like DX deserved better, things like that. And it's like, I think it's been a hard road for Hannah. She's getting a lot of shit online, like it's her job to protect this dude, and it's not. No. I'd like to know your thoughts on the Hannah DX situation.
I talked a lot about this on our podcast after the eviction night last night. Derek X was my number one pick in my draft. I've been his biggest fan since day one, but sorry if I get canceled for this, but Derek X deserved to go home last night. He made a terrible move. It's when you put your long-term game, and he said it in his interview with Julie, when you put your long-term game ahead of your short-term game, that is a massive mistake in this game that happens every season. That happens to somebody. And he made that mistake, and he needed to deal with it. So I don't think that it's anyone's responsibility but his own that he got sent home. I love him. He's awesome.
Yeah. He is awesome. And I think he owes a lot to the women of this house, because he came in here as a recruit, as knowing very little about the game. And he was early target, and without being swept under Tiffany's wing and also Hannah adoring him so much, I think his game, he would have went out a lot sooner, especially losing his number one ally, Travis, that soon. He probably would have fallen victim to hang with, you know, maybe the bro type, but we found that he's so much better than that. And he's a true, genuine, cool guy, but he really didn't know a ton about the game. And so these women took him under their wing and taught him a lot, and he trusted them. And that's a good thing. But when it comes down to it, even in his interview with Julie Chen after, I don't know if you watched the extended interview, but oh my God, if you guys haven't watched it, watch it, because you watch Derek X, it's kind of heartbreaking, come to these realizations in real time. Because Kyland, now I don't know if this, Alex, was agreed upon. We knew that he was going to get a couple sympathy votes. Obviously Hannah was going to give it to him because that was her side piece. Now when they were working on the flip, had Azah and Tiffany maybe just throwing it out there on accident too, we might have a different game. That didn't happen. It was just Hannah and Kyland, because Kyland's like, well, me too, I get to do it too because I'm so close to him too. No, bro, you're close to whispering Sarah Beth. That's all you care about is Sarah Beth Franzel. You guys smell each other, you're in each other's pits, like that's what's happening. You're with each other all the time. So he sees his goodbye messages. And in the goodbye message, Kyland says, sorry, don't feel bad about your game. I've been working with a group of people since the beginning. We're all still in the house. And then Derek X, no one else mentioned it. They showed Hannah's message. She didn't say anything. He didn't say the cookout specifically. So then Derek X, in this extended interview, is trying to work through his head. Well, who would it be? It's got to be remnants of the slaughterhouse. So, okay, so I guess Xavier, Kyland, Alyssa, could it be Alyssa? Could Derek F? I mean, Tiffany told me not to trust Kyland. Man, he's been lying to me since day one. And then he all of a sudden realized, so that's why America gave me the money. Oh my God. And he leaned back like this.
Oh, poor guy.
And his whole game just came, just down in front of him. But I was wondering, did the cookout agree? I understand they agreed on the votes, but did they agree that Kyland could say something? Because my understanding was they agreed to saying nothing about any alliance or the cookout. And Kylan didn't say cookout, but he mentioned there was a group. And in DX's mind, he's like, okay, it must be 5, and they're all still in the game. Well, it wasn't Christian, because Christian was on the outs of that, and he was just trying to work it out in his head. But I was very curious to see if that was talked about, and I just missed it on the feeds. But it was sad to watch Derek X like have to discover this in real time. It's going to be a hard pill to swallow. Not playing in the high roller, not using that cash, banking on that you could use it. I know it was the next week, but the first time 2 weeks in advance. It's just, that's not a smart way to play. And he also told Julie, he said, I think I thought about my intentions in this game, but I didn't think about other people's, like why Sarah Beth was making the decision she's making for her game. So he understood he wasn't looking at all aspects of the game like he should. Now, if he comes back at some point, I think he would play a lot different and a lot better. But this is a guy who came into the game not really knowing a lot about Big Brother.
Yeah. I 100% think we are going to see Derek X come back. America loved him too much for them not to bring this person back.
Yep.
He will be back.
I agree with you. And PK saying they agreed to say nothing. So I'll be surprised to know what they'll think, that the fact that Kylan just mentioned that there is a group of people, because that is kind of outing them without outing them. But Heather says, yes, Kylan was approved to give a sympathy vote, but they all agreed not to tell. That's what I thought too. So it was very strange. Go back and watch, you guys. Kylan says, hey man, I'm sorry. And that was definitely for jury management. And I felt like that was throwing the cookout under the bus if they all had this agreement. Not cool, but very Kyle. So getting back to your point, like, would he pick Sarah Beth Franzel? It's like, who knows what Kylan will do at this point. He is, I understand. I know it's a difficult place to be in because it is an individual game, but they have this alliance where their goal is to get to the 6.
Yeah.
So, you kind of battle back and forth with that. But yes, DX for All Stars. And Stephanie says, Somed Kai told DX because it's going to make him get credit from the jury. Yes, get the credit from the jury. It'll make Kai look more of a mastermind behind it, which it should. All the mastermindness needs to go to Tiffany and Xavier, because Tiffany's the mastermind, the strategist, but Xavier's done so much to keep it together, and he really has a lot of power right now. The fact that vote flip didn't go on, yet he was in solitary confinement.
And just taking his sweet time walking down those stairs on live TV.
Xavier's like, I run this house now that DX is out, and I know he's about to be out, and I was able to be in solitary and pee in a bucket, and these people still were misted by me. There's something to be said. He's a dangerous player.
Oh, I know. I feel like maybe 2 episodes ago, it was almost guaranteed that we were going to see a Kylan Xavier final 2. Mm-hmm. But now, after the Sarah Beth HOH, I don't think Kylan's going to be in that final 2 anymore. I think he's at the absolute bottom of the cookout. And unless he somehow gets picked off before the final 6, he will be the first one to go from that group.
I could see that happening. The only protection I wonder if he'd have is the guys, since they've been talking so much. I know DF, so the women of the cookout really have to get together, because I fear that they'll be picked off before Kylan, because the mist on Oz is really strong, whether it's X's mist or DF. She listens to him, Daybed Derek, a lot. So
yeah,
I worry for them. So, okay. So then, did you see on the feeds that that iconic moment last night where Baby D, which, Julie Chen's like, you obviously don't like that. It's like, Julie, he didn't say that. He just got out of the house. He's processing a lot. Yes, as a grown man, he might not want to be called a Baby D, because that's also like a baby dick. Like, it sounds
baby
like
dick.
Yeah, you're calling him Baby Dick.
Did you just get kicked out of the Big Brother house, Baby Dick? Oh, no.
And Julie's just like, oh, are you offended? Julie is just on one this season. I don't know.
Also, why did Julie go in on Derek X harder than she went in on any other house guest?
On
right
Aaron
after
Grease.
eviction.
She went harder on him than Aaron Grease. She just really oh, you don't like that? Well, guess who likes it? Julie Chen, second last name. Ever since that second last name, whatever it is, came into play, it's been kind of rolling down downhill a little bit. But yeah, she went a little too hard on him. She's like, oh, you don't like Baby D? You don't want to be called by your given name? How dare you? How dare you? Okay. I'm wearing platform shoes. How dare you?
You did this wrong. You did this wrong. You did this wrong. And now you're kicked out of the house.
Yes. Also, are you going to have sex with Hannah? But be humble. Okay. Be humble.
He's like, maybe.
Yeah. Expected. Oh, you're throwing that back in my face? Okay. All right. Someone call Les. Oh, he doesn't work here anymore? All right. Call me.
Tune in to see the extended interview on Paramount Plus.
Yeah. So it was a little like uncomfy. I'm thinking he's a fan favorite and normally get a little more love in the club from Julie Chen to the fan favorite. But I guess you got to be a Califiore to get any love in this franchise. I don't know what's going on. You got to be a cauliflower brother. You got to kiss your dad on the mouth or Julie does not respect you. Okay.
I was like, oh my God, Julie Chen, please be nice.
Yes, he's processing a lot. Like this guy, I mean, and he's so kind, and he gave Tiffany a bracelet, and he, with the Hannah, and what my original point was that Sarah Beth Franzel, when he said you're playing a Nick F game, okay. Later in the evening on the feeds, she's laying with Kylan because, of course, why go talk to anyone else in the game and try to, repair what you've done this week or whatever, feel it out a little bit. She's laying with Kai and they're just I can't stand, but I have to listen. My favorite is when Kylan is talking to the oven. Just randomly, he parks a chair in front of the oven at 4 a.m. and puts the timer on. I don't know if it's to study things, but it's very interesting, Sylvia Plath. Very, very interesting. Okay. So when he's not by the oven, he's with Sarah Beth Franzel. And he said, like, what did you think of being, your game being compared to, he said that, Nick F. And she was like, what? He said, you have a Franzel game. And she's like, what? I thought he said that I had a cold AF game. He thought he said cold AF. She had no idea. She was like, what the and then it cut the feeds, even though Franzel's one of her favorite players, I think she said.
Yeah, she did say that.
So, baby girl Kels, thank you for the super sticker. So it was just so funny. I was like, oh my God, she didn't know. It was such an iconic moment for us. And she was like, I think he said I was cold as fuck.
Cold AF?
Cold AF? No? I don't know. I got 5,000 from him.
Cool AF because I'm playing an amazing game.
I thought he was complimenting me on the length of my bangs. No? Okay. Anyways.
I feel like Sarah Beth is just like so delusional in this game. And like, I mean, when I saw the cast, I like clocked her as like first or second out. So I'm like surprised that she is who she is on the season. Mm-hmm. And she's creating some like interesting television moments, I guess. But like, dang girl, you were just making some of the weirdest choices in the house.
She could, if she really keeps going and plays this, if she's not out this week, which I think she most likely, I mean, that's the goal. If she owns this kind of villainess, strategic player, I think it would be really cool. But I don't know. But she's already like, I know America hates me. And it's like, that's fine because I know where all their bodies are going to be buried. I'm in forensics. It's a science. So I don't know, Alex. I just thought that moment was crazy.
Didn't she lie about a fake job? Oh, no, she says she's a voice actor.
I'm a voice actress. Sometimes I did a Hardee's commercial. So there you go.
I do a lot of ASMR.
Yeah. It's amazing. Okay, so then we get Tiffany's HOH room reveal. Like I said, it was great. She got Beyonce's lemonade. We got to see Christian. We got to see, I think, Mama Pat or her grandma. And then she also had a picture of, her mom. And she kind of told a little bit about her backstory, which I think was really great to hear. And she goes, oh, this is all I wanted. You guys can take the room. And literally that's what happened. So today.
And then they did.
They did. She had her for one night.
Okay.
Yes. So what happened, Alex? What happened today?
What happened today was the High Rollers room happened and the coin of destiny was won, flipped, and successfully executed. And we have a new head of household, baby.
Yes. And who is it?
It's Claire. So basically, it's still Tiffany.
So what happens with this? I'm so confused. So now Tiffany got kicked out of her HOH room.
Yes, but it's so what I've gathered, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because this is what I've pieced together from the internet, is that this is a secret HOH, meaning that Claire will be able to put up or change nominees, which she hasn't, I think, or at least she said she hasn't. I don't know if it's official, but no one will know who won or who the HOH is, just that it's happened and that exists. But because Tiffany is no longer the HOH, she loses her HOH perks. So that means she gets kicked out of the room.
Did they take her
there anymore?
picture?
And the HOH is just locked for everybody.
Did they take her picture away of her fam, of her son? Because it was like his first day of high school, Christian's first day.
I think they did. I think they take away your HOH perks unless you get to keep your pictures after your HOH.
I don't know. I remember Tyler having a picture of or maybe that was just because they had the pictures on the wall for All Stars. But I do remember maybe when they have like double evictions and you get to like have your pictures in your regular room or whatever. But that's really sad. Okay, so Claire technically doesn't have to tell anybody.
No, but Claire has told Hannah and Tiffany.
Okay, of course, her ladies. Yeah. Now, the weird thing is,
knows.
This is just, again, lifting from BB Can, the Invisible HOH, which instead of making this some weird thing, make it in the high roller room, make it 1 week there's an Invisible HOH, which just happened on BB Can 9. And Spicy V got it, where you literally have an HOH where you don't have to say, and they make all the nominations anonymously, and they do everything anonymously, and everyone plays as normal, wondering who the HOH was. Why not just do that? You know, why? I don't know. Alex, thank you for the super chat. Not cold AF. Also, Julie called Derek X Baby D. Yes, when he got evicted. And she continued to call him that through the interview 2 times. And it was like, what? Thank you, Krista and Bella Vlog. Appreciate it. You are amazing. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. So now all the cookout knows Claire won, obviously, because Tiff knows. And she told X and Big D. Good to know. All right. So no one gets to stay in this HOH. It's like,
they're just like, second bathroom, gone.
I feel like this, either they should have done this as the first one. Like, just rip the Band-Aid off. Let's get something rolling. But once you take enough people out of the house, it's not as interesting. Or just make it a week. By week 4, week 5, we're doing an Invisible HOH. Why? This is dumb.
It seems a little late in the game for an Invisible HOH to be truly ruthless.
Yes, exactly. There'd be so many established things happening. And now we know with the cookout, and we're this far, what are we, day 40 what? You know, I mean, come on, BB Joseph. So this twist is a joke. I got to kind of agree with you. I had high hopes. I was just hoping it wasn't going to be like a den of temptation, but it's kind of den of temptationing. It's doing what these twists do.
I mean, if someone like, if like Sarah Beth had somehow won this, or like, you know, someone who is more in trouble would have won this HOH, that could have really like flipped the house. That might have been different, but even at this point, there isn't much you can do, especially with the third nominee up.
It would have been kind of funny, I guess, if Alyssa would have won and did something and then accidentally nominated Xavier.
Again.
Just like with her really, oops, sorry. Oh, this time I said his name on accident. Sorry.
Oh my God. I can't believe I accidentally said Xavier's name, and now I'm going to cry to him about it.
How come I didn't win the HOH? She is the poorest sport. She's always complaining about not winning. You didn't win. It's okay. And if we didn't already mention, the nominations were today, and Tiffany put Kyland and Sarah Beth on the block, which they kind of saw coming, but like Alex said, you know, Sarah Beth is under the understanding that Kylan's more of the target, and she has no idea what's happening. And I know we still have veto and stuff, but if something drastic doesn't happen, she is going to be following DX in that jury house. And Tiffany is like, this is poetic justice for DX. However, do you think this is Tiffany's best game move for herself and I guess and the cookout, but mostly for herself? Or do you think disabling X and taking Alyssa out would be better, because maybe the argument could be made at this time that Sarah Beth is she's kind of a walking, she's a walking target already. We'll get her out. Alyssa's come close a lot of times. Plus, she has the backing of Xavier. Xavier already has a lot of power and influence in the house. So you would want to you don't want to leave Xavier as the last man standing with a support system when he's already so strong. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, that is true. I feel
X is the third nominee. Sorry, you guys. He used his third nominee thing.
Yes, X is on the block as well. I feel like that Kylan and Sarah Beth are more of a duo than Alyssa and Xavier. Like, when it comes down to it, Xavier has shown multiple times that he is 100% cookout. Yep. He has Alyssa in his back pocket, but I don't think he would ever jeopardize anything for Alyssa, whereas Kylan, it's more like you don't know. Mm-hmm. I can see Kylan entirely trying to like pull some strings to flip the entire house to, work with Sarah Beth and keep their final two. Whereas with Kylan or with X, I'm like I don't see that for him. Yes. I worry that he won't send his person home when the time comes, which we've been seeing a lot of issues with. The cookout is kind of paired up with someone outside of the cookout, and every time one of the members of outside of cookout has to go, it's been turmoil for the cookout member to send home their person outside of the cookout. But I think Xavier will kind of like take it in stride and see the bigger picture. At least that's what I think.
I think you're right, and I think people in the chat agree. Like Kai's in love with that girl. He's willing to do that. Now, I argue that Xavier is crushing still hard on Alyssa. Even though Christian, that's, Christian's girlfriend now, he still has hopes and he still throws a spitting game. Not like Kylan, where Kylan is reciting Shakespearean sonnets to this woman as she sleeps. Like, I don't know.
Praying to the oven.
He's praying to the oven. He waits to leave her room to go into the bathroom and just rip ass. Like, he doesn't do it in her bathroom. He does it like, I'm up all hours of the night watching these two. And I was so happy when her HOH ended, Alex, because I'm like, I can't with their whispering. And Kylan already whispers, pretty softly, and they whisper when they don't have to whisper. And Kylan already kind of takes a long time to get to points he's already said 5,000 times. So it's just difficult with these two. Like, tell me about all your thoughts and dreams and your hopes and your souls. Did you know you have 1,622 eyelashes? We're just friends. Like, he literally is counting her eyelashes, her skin cells. He knows her blood type. Like, he is her emergency contact now. It's crazy. He wrote her.
You got to get rid of that.
You got to get rid of that. I think you guys are right. And yes, hello, Jacqueline Parody. Kylan knows that he would win sitting beside SB at the end, and he would. Hot take, Heather says, I think the four ladies need to take this shot at Xavier. Might not get the opportunity. I mean, yeah, if getting the cookout to the 6 wasn't their goal, I would for sure say, you got to take Xavier out. He is so smart. He miss people. He's an attorney, and everyone is, caught on to like, you're an attorney. The joke's been made so much throughout the season. He's like, no, I'm a model, bro. I'm stupid. And he's like, they're like,
no, I'm just stupid. A dumb model. I don't do law.
Seriously, what is law? What is a law? So yes, I would, but you're not. Xavier is so powerful. Not only does he have daybed, Kylan is realizing that he won't win next to Xavier, but they still have this guy final 3 or talk about getting the girls out. But you also have Azza. Like, Azza literally is like, I could keep DX, which probably would be better for my game in the long run. And she kept saying to the cameras by herself, I'm going to regret this. I'm going to regret this. But I don't want to go against Xavier when he's been locked in that room. I feel really bad for him. And I was like, no, Azah, I know you're such a good person and I love you, but this is Big Brother. And this is definitely when you want to flip it.
Absolutely. And they came for Azah's alliance with Brittany already. Yep. And she had to be the bigger person then, so it would have been an awesome move for her. And Azah's one of those players who's been kind of under the radar the whole season, and that would have been a really fierce move for her.
It would have been a really fierce move. And also Hannah, who really looks up to X as her big brother. I mean, X has got these people on lock. The only way he doesn't have fooled is Tiffany. And he knows that because he's smart. And so he knows that he's most likely, what I'm thinking from a fan of Tiffany perspective, I'm thinking he's going to get them to turn on Tiffany. So I worry once they get to the 6 that Tiffany will be the first out. That's my worry. Do you think I have to worry about that?
Tiffany is a big threat to win in their eyes. She's played an excellent social game. You know, she's now won a competition. Like she's winner material.
She is winner material. I have saw this from the beginning, and I don't know if it's possible anymore, knowing what X knows about Tiffany, what Tiffany knows about X, and what they've seen from each other. But I tweeted it in the beginning. I said, I see a final 2 with X and Tiffany, and I think that would be an iconic final 2. Oh, yeah. I also would love a Tiffany and Hannah final 2 because I would love to see 2 women up there, and I love both of them, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know. We have a while to go. But yeah, it might be Hannah and X, you know, because Hannah has a final 2 with X. So I think X is set up really, really well. Heather says, I think Azah would vote X out. Tiffany has shown her that none of the ladies win against X and Kyle. Yes. Hopefully this middle school crush that's talked about on the feeds and in the episodes is, I don't know. We just saw even in the episode edit of she just cuddle up on X, like, whatever you say. You know, it's like, why does he have to be so damn beautiful? You know, and smart. Can't you just pick one? Can't be beautiful and smart, Xavier.
You can't have it all.
It's not fair. Joyce says X is a mediator in a good social game and won a few comps. X will win. Yeah. I mean, X next to Tiffany at this point, we still got a lot of game left to play and a lot of wins and a lot of things to rack up for your resume, a lot of resume building time. However, I think it's going to be hard to beat an attorney. I think it's going to be hard.
X has made no one mad.
No one. And Tiffany has gotten into fights with people. So that's why I love my girl Tiffany, because that's so how I would be in this house. I wish I could be the calm X and just let shit roll and whatever, but I would be like, what did you just say to me? Are you kidding me? I'm locked in this house with no sunlight and you're going to say that shit, Alyssa, that I should pick Chris Brown over Tupac? Get out. Like, get out. All eyes on me all day. Get out. I don't care. Yes, I like that one Kanye song that Chris Brown is on. I was going to say Chris Rock is on, but I don't care. Oh my God. Let's be like Christy and manifest the X and Tiff final 2. Yes. Let's put our what are they called? Not jewels. What are those things called? Rocks? No, you know what the crystals? LA girls pray to. Yes, let's put our crystals in our vagines and
our yoni eggs.
Yes. What are they called? Yoni?
A yoni egg.
Yes, let's put our yoni eggs in our vagines. Gentlemen, feel free to put them in your buttholes, and we will just go, yes, Tiff and X final 2, make it happen. 2 very smart strategic players at the end, battling for Big Brother dominance. How iconic. We so iconic. Oh my God. Yeah.
I just really hope that the power of the yoni egg like comes through right now. Like how I feel it. Power, like she got us. Would that be?
I feel it in my cervix. I feel it.
I feel it. I just started my period because of this conversation. Like, look at us go.
And I just started my period because you started your period. In sync, sister. Oh
my God.
Yes, let's make this come into the world. Jefferson, thank you for the super chat. Says Claire told Tiff, Veto host will also host the pick. Oh, the 3 noms will pick veto players. No HOH in veto. What is this, BB Can? Claire will do replacement nom if secret veto. Wait, in secret if veto is used.
Oh.
What? This is very BB Can, where the HOH does not play in the veto. What do you think? Are you a BB Can watcher?
I'm
Alex?
not.
What do you think about a game where the HOH does not play in the veto?
I feel like that's not fair.
So American of you.
I know, that is so American of me. But you know what? There is advantages to being a secret HOH. So I guess that the advantages that you get from being in secret, you give up the chance to compete for veto. So
yeah, so veto
I guess it evens out.
We'll also host the pick. The 3 noms will pick veto players. No HOH in veto. Claire will do replacement nom if secret veto is used. Well, the good thing is, even though Tiffany lost her room, that her side piece, aka Claire from Michigan, aka Survivor Superfan / BB Superfan Claire, would get to pick, and that she would be pretty transparent with Tiffany. So nothing will go too off the rails for Tiffany's game. Now, if Claire knew what was going on, I bet her replacement nominee would be different if she knew about the cookout and knew about all these things. But she doesn't, unfortunately.
Is Claire able to compete next week for HOH?
I would imagine she would be, because I believe in BB Can 9, Spicy V was able to, because if she wasn't, then
that
you
would
would
out
know.
her.
That would out her. Yeah. Even though Spicy V kind of told a few people, like she was like, I have it. Just kidding. No, for real, I have it. No, I don't. I do. I don't. I'm such a liar. I do. She did that like back and forth with one of the guys, and it was hilarious. But she put up bad. She didn't take full advantage of that. So, I know it's hard. This is a season where I feel like I like most of the cast, which is unheard of. Alex, have you had a season where you've liked this many players on Big Brother?
No, I mean, there's really only like one person that I like, or no, like 2 people that I like don't want to see sitting in one of those final.
Who are they?
Who are they?
Alyssa and Sarah Beth.
Yeah, it's Alyssa and Sarah Beth.
Mine includes Daybed Derek as well. I don't understand why the cookout can't just say, but you're eliminated for your love of French dressing and your misogyny. We have to let you go, Daybed.
Yeah, you gotta go for that.
But I understand why they can't.
Sorry, friend, you gotta go.
But if Daybed Derek's in final, I mean, he's someone that Xavier would put in final 2 next to him, because he's gonna win for sure.
I mean, he's playing a goat game, like, and there's something to be said if you're playing for second place, like, go off. Mm-hmm. But like, he hasn't really made any moves. They're talking in the house like he's playing like this amazing social game, but I'm like, we're not seeing it.
No.
Like, people say in the diary room, like, no one's gonna get rid of Derek F. He's playing an amazing social game. I'm like, where?
They're just bored, so they like to see him do his walk around the house and call people hussies and this, that, and the other thing. But other than that, like, the only thing I like about DF is how he reacted to the Beyonce Lemonade album. That was in the HOH basket. And also when he references Tamar and Nene Leakes. That's it. I appreciate his love for Bravo. I believe he's going to go to BravoCon with Hannah. Hannah, I believe, has tickets to BravoCon in New York after this season. And I was like, they had a whole long conversation on the feeds about Celebrity Big Brother. And a few of them thought Candy and Tamar might be watching the feeds. I'm like, no, there's a better shot of Tamar maybe seeing it, but Candy had no idea what she was getting into.
No, Candy is not watching Big Brother feeds.
She's so busy. Candy's watching dildos and the music charts. Like, she's in restaurants. She is busy. Mm-hmm. But in Tamar, I don't think Tamar gets on the live feeds. I really don't. But it was funny to hear their conversations. That's the great thing about this cast, is that they're very entertaining and likable. And even the ones that aren't likable, it's like, but they're not problematic. They're the villains.
Yeah.
You know, the only problematic person, I think the problematic people you got out really early. And then, you know, Daybed Derek's misogyny. That's the other problem.
There's been like so many arguments about Daybed Derek and like, oh, he's calling women bitches, like, bitch. And I'm like, no, he's not doing that. Like,
No,
I know he is not. He's not being like, oh, bitch. Like, that's not it. He's being like, she's a bitch, and there's a difference.
She's a bum bitch. I'm going to get that bitch. Someone had said, who said it recently? Did I hear it on a Big Brother live feed update or something? I think saying how calm Daybed Derek was. You know, he just never gets upset. I was like, are we watching the feeds? Are we watching?
You're watching the same thing.
He actually is not calm at all. And he loves to confront and he gets upset and he walks outside and he stomps around and he's not calm. He's very easy to provoke and he provokes himself. Now let's talk about this. So Kemi is saying, I think Tiffany would win next to everyone, including Xavier. Let us know in the chat what you guys think. Now, it's going to be hard next to Xavier because he is an attorney and this is what he's used to doing. And he picks up on things of people and he has a miss to him. But Tiffany, I think, has a little miss to her too. And she has a lot of charisma and she's a big fan of the game. And she strategically, you know, now having a win under her belt, now having, if she gets, you know, to the final two, having come up with the strategy for the cookout of having a +1, a lot can be said for her game. She has a lot to argue. Do you think there's a chance next to Xavier that
Yes.
Tiffany...
I think that there is a huge chance for Tiffany because if Tiffany can get her argument together and honestly, if she has the opportunity to plead her case first, I think is going to be huge for her. Because if she is able to drop like all of the secrets of the cookout, it will have a bigger impact on the jury. And if she's able to be like, this is what I did. I came up with this. This was my baby. Xavier did help me. And if she's able to say what Xavier played in it as well, so he's not able to like toot his own horn as well because she already did it, then I think she does have a fighting chance. But if he gets to talk first, I think it's going to kind of take away some of her steam.
Yeah, and I think obviously depending on how Alyssa ends up going out when she does go out, you know, that's assuming the cookout will make it to the 6 and she will go out. How she feels, because Alyssa is a very emotional, personal player. Alyssa, if she don't like you, she don't like you. She's going to take that shit to the jury house and she's going to sit on it as a grudge for the rest of her life. So, you know, I feel if you know, Xavier's able, someone else gets her out and they maintain that good relationship, he'll get Alyssa's vote. As for the cookout, obviously Daybed Derek, I don't see him ever voting for Tiffany as much as they can kiki and get along to a point. I don't see that.
No.
But I do see Azah. I think Azah could appreciate Tiffany's game and as a woman. And I think Hannah is very close to X, but there's a lot of game left. And Tiffany has this very emotional connection with her. And and Hannah seems to, she does open up to X. It'll be close, but she does open up to X, but she kind of looks as Tiffany as that big sister kind of motherly role. And Tiffany's really good at building those personal relationships. And Kylan, I could see Kai voting, you know, he's got this feminist thing to prove too. You know, he wore that shirt. I was raised by a strong woman. I'm a male feminist, you know, which is just a feminist. And so there, and, you know, Sarah Beth, I could see, I
could see Sarah Beth being like, Tiffany was the one to get me out. And if you're able to get me out, you're getting my vote. Like one of those things.
Yeah.
Like, to be like, oh, you got me, so you get my vote. Like, you know, try and act like, you know, she was some big threat that.
If you guys got me, you did a really good job. So my vote goes for the person who took me out. Thank you. Hi, Sally. Be mad at me. So I agree with you.
Sorry to my girlfriend, Shelly.
Oh, good question. Do you think, Alex, is X floating?
This is something that I've been thinking about a lot. To me, a floater is somebody who is coasting and laying under the radar and not really making any big moves, so no one's mad at you, so no one puts you on the block. I think that X had a clear goal to not ever be put on the block. He said it.
He did.
He did say that, I don't want to go on the block, and that was part of his strategies to not go on the block. So I think that he is floating a little bit, but it's an intentional floating. He's playing a floater game on purpose, which is a little bit different than just like being oblivious and floating.
Yeah. So I know we have the whole floater versus coaster game.
Yes.
I don't think he's a floater just because he doesn't really float to the power. He's loyal to who he's loyal to, and he has a lot of say.
Yes.
In his game and alliance. So I would argue that he wasn't a floater.
Yeah.
Because he's so aligned and his moves are strategic. And his strategy isn't to just follow the power, I don't think.
Because he does not follow power. You do not see him like going into the HOH room and being like, so what are we doing this week? Like,
yeah,
he's not doing that. He's not.
It's not an Andy Heron. When you think of like a floater rat game, you think of Andy Heron, right? From BB15, where you kind of will change alliances and allegiance as power shows up, and you'll say this person said this, that person said this, and X. He doesn't play that way.
Low and not pissing anybody off.
Yes, and he's still hooked on, like a lot of people are saying, on the Kings. The Kings. That team twist really got to X. X must have been in team sports as a kid because he's team.
Like, I ride with the team, I die with the team.
Monica makes a good point, half floater. So if there's a half floater, maybe he's a half floater. Yes. X and Tiff are the best players in this game. I have to agree. I do think Hannah's a little underrated. People underestimate Hannah. I think she is really smart, but I do think Hannah's goal is not necessarily to win this game. It's to get to the 6. But I do think she's a little underestimated. Now, as far as Azza go, Azza's not strategic, but she's wonderful to watch when she's just being honest in herself and getting mad, whether it's over Fruit Loops and someone stealing that strategy, or going up in Kylan's room and just being like, what? And giving him attitude when he's the HOH. It's wonderfully refreshing to watch someone like that and just the realness of it. And also someone that has a big heart. It can be frustrating because we're like, quit crying, it's Brittany. But you see that these people, they're real people, and they feel badly that they're deceiving this person, their side piece. But it's like, you have to do that.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you think that Azza is a floater?
Yeah, Derek is Andy. Derek, after bed, Derek is an Andy. Oh my God, he really is. And Andy also had a lot of misogyny. If you go back and watch Andy Heron season BB15, oh my God, Alex. The live feeds, there's like best ofs on YouTube. You can look it up. The stuff he said about women was disgusting.
I don't need to have another reason to get my tubes tied. So.
I don't want to trigger all of, we're already out with the patriarchy. We know how it works. But very similar. Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. Now, do I think Azza is? I mean, again, Azza is aligned, but no, I don't, because even when someone has power, she still gives attitude. Like, she just doesn't float. Well, I mean, she does follow along with, like, I guess, Xavier. Like, she does follow along with people who are perceived to be in power and what they say and what they want her to do, rather than making game choices based on what's best for her. So maybe a half. But what do you think? Do you think she is?
I don't know if Azza's a floater, because it doesn't really seem like Azza is too dynamic with the HOH. Like, Azza is more just like, let me just lay low and make sure I have people to protect me, and I'm going to get myself as far as I can go. But it doesn't really seem like she has a plan to get herself in the final 2.
No, I don't think she does. And that's something I think Tiffany is trying to have conversations with the women about. Because when Tiffany and Hannah and Azza talk, I'm like, yes, make this work somehow. Like, have this plan, like make an agreement that you are going to take these men out. Yes. And that has yet to fully surface and happen. So Pomegranate saying, no, Azza would be coasting if not for the cookout.
Yeah, that's more the vibe I get from her.
Exactly how it is, and she's no floater. Yeah, that's a really good point. Paul writes, so this is why I like the cookout better than most alliances. They have compassion for the outside of the alliance. You know what? And it's amazing. They're getting some of the most hate any alliance has ever received, yet they're the most compassionate, empathetic alliance we have ever seen. People who truly feel bad cutting people in a game where you're meant to cut people and only one person wins at the end. So it is ironic that they're receiving this much, vitriol when they're really so kind and gentle, and they're like, they were helping Hannah last night, like, don't worry, Hannah, it's going to be our turn soon and we're not looking forward to it. Like, X is worried about Alyssa, and Tiffany's worried about Claire, and they feel very guilty.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And I don't remember anyone in the Grateful Hateful Alliance feeling guilty. I remember them attacking people who were already down and bringing them up and going, I'm going to beat you up. Whatever her name was, the soccer player. I'm going to kick a soccer ball at your face. It's like, go to bed with what's his name. We don't have time for this,
One thing that I really like about the cookout too is that because people are always saying like, oh, well, looks like we got another Big Brother season where one big alliance takes over the whole thing. And I'm like, well, this is a little different because the cookout is so dynamic. They're going essentially undetected, like normally at this point in the game, it's like they've clapped the big alliance. They're like, okay, these people are working together and we're just 3 people now who are screwed and can't do anything about it unless one of us is the HOH.
Yeah. And we've never seen an alliance despite being so maybe not people who would traditionally choose to work together, be so loyal to each other and work through their problems to get there, which just shows how important their mission is and how underrepresented they feel they've been in this game to take this huge risk on their own personal game to make this happen. For the first time, where we see these, the Grateful Hateful Alliances, things like that, people who would definitely hang out in real life, but still shit on each other and are really horrible people, allegedly. So, it's a very interesting dynamic to have this kind of alliance and have the solidarity of it, yet with empathy, yet with strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite amazing, really.
Just the fact alone that they're undetected is impressive to me. I'm like, that is a good big alliance. Like, it's the way to play Big Brother and get far is to be in a big alliance. That sucks that's the thing, because us as viewers are like, no, we want to see more dynamic gameplay, but like, that's not going to happen because unfortunately we found the hack in the game, it's having a big alliance. So all we can do is hope that the big alliance is an entertaining one.
Exactly. And I feel like this is a really entertaining one. Pomegranate says most seasons feel the need to villainize. Yes, that's a lot of new school Big Brother. Villainize the new target each week, but they don't kick at them. It's just, of course there's things that, there's more personal. Even Tiffany herself questioned, is me getting rid of Sarah Beth this week or putting her up rather than like an Alyssa or, going that route, is that more personal than it is strategic? But as we've talked through tonight, I think that ultimately you are breaking up the biggest showmance this season. Christian and Alyssa will not last, and that's no shade. He's 23 and getting off a reality show and having vagines thrown at him in the DMs. This isn't going to be a Rachel and Brendan situation. This is going to be not as tragic as a Jerkson and Holly Beth, but it's going to be somewhere in between. I'm sure they'll part more amicably, but it will not be a forever.
No.
And, the way they spoke about, which celebrity have you had sex with? Oh, God, you're so lucky. It's like, because she had sex with G-Eazy. Like, allegedly. So, and I think they're just on different wavelengths in life. And she's like 27 and it's a big age gap at that time. But with Kyland and Sarah Beth Franzel, I can see now, no shade to Shelley, God bless Shelley and Disneyland and all the things they used to do together, but
R.I.P. Shelley's life as she used to know it.
R.I.P. Disney with Shelley. I'm just saying, I don't know if this isn't going to be a thing outside of this house. And after they both get out and they find out that they're not the most liked in the house, especially SB Franzel, they might need to commiserate with some more. How are they going to stop this color? It's like cold turkey giving up cigarettes. It doesn't always work. You fall back and get yourself a pack. I need a cuddle. She's going to need a cuddle. I can see this outside in the real world, Alex.
Oh, yeah, I absolutely do. That we're going to get everyone out of this Big Brother house, and then on Instagram a week later, they're going to be like, visiting my bestie, and then it'll all go downhill from there.
I'm to the point where at first I was like, no judge, I'm so cool. I'm like, I would stab my boyfriend or girlfriend, but that's cool that you don't. But also, maybe they have an open relationship, maybe this or that. But now I'm full on like, this is weird.
Oh, I'd be pissed.
It's weird.
I'd be a yeller over the wall. I'd be a shouter. I'd be like, you're dead to me!
Yeah, I hope you both die in the have-not. I hope the slop kills you.
I'm breaking up with you!
I'm pregnant. Like, I would just throw everything out at them. I'm keeping the baby, but not you. Like, I would go crazy, Alex. I'm with you. It's just a lot. I mean, it's to the point now. I don't know if you saw this. I talked about this last night on my live, but where Kai was talking to Tiffany in the bathroom, and they're talking game. And of course, here comes Sarah Beth. She's like, I gotta poop. And so she goes in the bathroom. And so Kai's like, hey, she's on the shitter. She's in private time now. And he goes, we're going to go to the whatever, like told her exactly. She wasn't in the conversation. And Tiffany's like, wow, I want a guy one day to, she's kind of ribbing him. Like, I want a guy one day that's going to, take care of me like that. Telling her, making her feel safe while she's taking a dump. It's so codependent. You're not going to be able to break this stuff up with some therapy, outside intervention. This is going to be on A&E. This is going to be an intervention. I cannot quit you. It's Brokeback Mountain, the buy pan movement or something. I don't know.
Sarah Beth is going to have a rough time in that jury house without Kyland.
Now, okay, here's more speculation and gossip that you'll only get at the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen and maybe the Couch Potato Queens, where we talk about these kind of things.
Ooh.
But if they end up in the jury house together, are they humping around or just cuddling or dry humping? What are we doing?
Okay, like the like nice person in me is like, no, she wouldn't do that to Shelly, but like she totally would.
I mean, you're on national television, cuddled up to this hot guy who clearly is into you, and you can say it's strategic and that's fine. But, and again, maybe they have an understanding and maybe Shelly's so cool. I've never met someone that cool, but I guess they exist. Maybe they have an open relationship. Maybe she's cuddling with a Kylie. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like Sarah Beth gives me like I'm in a polyamorous relationship energy. Like, you know what I mean? Like she seems like that young millennial who's like, I'm polyamorous, and that's like what they do. But I'm also like, you didn't say that. So now all of us are like, what's going on?
And I feel like she'll say she is until that polyamory starts happening. And then she's like, who's going to die tonight? Someone must. It's not me.
She's cool with polyamory until she's not the only person who has two partners.
My husband says dry humping SB is not freaky. Well, listen, Chell, I disagree because she said I want to be bitten by a snake. I've always thought about that. That's pretty freaky. You're down. She was alluding to liking pain. She enjoyed getting pierced, and she asked if he had any piercings. And he's like, "Why do you want to pierce me in the house?" She's like, "I don't think I can because we don't get ice and we don't get needles." And he was like, all right, wait. That's what she said. I don't know.
That's what I'm shocked about.
One of them said, I know. Not the fact that she loves pain, wants to pierce him, and be bitten by a snake.
That's all normal. That just sounds like a Tuesday night to me, but no ice? How do you have cold beverages?
But how MFEO are they for each other?
Made for each other. All that soda just sitting on that counter. There's no ice. I
could have sworn they had ice. They have a fridge, no ice machine. But I could have sworn Kylan or Sarah Beth in that conversation said, we don't have ice. But how made for each other, as she says she wants to be bitten by a snake. He says, my sister's been bitten by a snake in her neck. What are the odds? I lived in many a state with lots of snakes. I've never known anyone bitten. I've never been bitten, let alone in the neck. I've never known anyone who wanted to be bitten. These guys are MFEO. For real. And he said during lockdown, he was going to ask her more about the pain thing. Like, is she into BDSM or whatever? Do you want to get spicy? So Pisces. So spicy. Tracy says it's code for Kai's snake. There you go. For his trouser schnauzer. What are they called? Trouser snake? I call it a trouser schnauzer.
Is that a snake in your pants, or are you just going to the jury house next week?
I like it. I like your VPL, your visible penis line. I like it. Joseph says, I'm going to gag. Good. That is the point of the show. SB has a darkness in her. How did she hide this? It's a beautiful darkness. It's an American horror story. I love when these players have this dark side, and then we're able to like suss it out. And so they're like, ooh, yeah.
I mean, the first time we saw it was really row your boat. Like, that's where Sarah Beth really went downhill.
Oh my gosh. And she just looked at the camera just like, I guess everyone's gonna die in production. Just kidding. You have a microscope so I can look at your cells or your lungs. Like, it's amazing. It is amazing. All right. Hopefully we can make you laugh tonight. I think that's all the updates going down. Tiffany she was dethroned. Our queen was dethroned. Lemonade was stolen from her. Pictures of Christian and her mom. And but luckily her number one ally is the secret takeover HOH. We'll see what happens with the veto tomorrow. X is the third nominee. Sarah Beth and Kyland are on the block. So lots of good feeds. This week has just been already so much better than last week for feeds, in my opinion. So, they're saying she kept her HOH basket.
Oh, good.
Thank God, because it was not enough time. Okay. Oh, Amber's got a nice story, a fun story here. I worked at a pet store. I have been bitten by snakes many times. Oh, Amber, you badass. You might be Sarah Beth's next victim. It does not cause any pain unless you are working with a bigger snake. Baby snake bites don't hurt at all. Well, thanks for letting us know. You got to be bitten by like a Monty Python to get feeling or something. I don't know. All right, Alex, tell us all the places to find you, what we need to do. Everything.
Yes. Please go ahead and subscribe to us on Couch Potato Queens on YouTube. We are on our path to getting 1,000 subscribers. We cover a ton of stuff. We cover Big Brother, Survivor, RuPaul's Drag Race, Bachelor Nation, all of it. So come subscribe to us there. It really helps us out. Help us get to 1,000 likes. Yeah.
Now, what's going to happen when you guys... Oh my God, I love having you. What's going to happen when you guys reach 1,000? Did you have a thing you're going to do?
Oh my goodness. When we get to 1,000 subscribers, we are going to have such a stupid live where we're going to put Josh, our other co-host, in full drag. It's going to be ridiculous. So if you want to see some crazy drag, give us a subscribe because we want to get Josh in drag. Oh my goodness, your cat.
It's producer Tilly. She's like, Mom, you've been live for so long. I need some kitty love. Okay. So so it's super easy. Yes. Party at Couch Potato Queens. You guys just go YouTube/Couch Potato Queens. I just tested it to see if you guys had your very own little YouTube / and you do. And you guys are up to 700
and circle as well.
They dropped the cast, I heard. I haven't looked. Oh, I got to do a reaction to that. So, yes, so many things. And then on the social medias, we can just find you at Alex.
At alexknowsitall.jpg on Instagram.
Okay, on Instagram. Did you already say that? I'm so sorry. I was like, yeah, Tilly wants food. She does want food. All right, you guys, make sure you subscribe to Couch Potato Queens. Subscribe here if you haven't already. Follow me and Alex on Instagram. You can also follow me on Twitter and the TikTok. Yeah, I have some things coming up on TikTok. So hopefully that will be fun. I'll be back tomorrow for the challenge chat with Miranda. But until then, Alex, it's always a pleasure.
Yes.
You guys have a great night. Bye.